What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another live, not a depressing one. That was yesterday. I would say I'm over it. Not really, but like it's gonna be a different one. It's gonna be. Well, first of all, I need to welcome Davide again,
Hey, how's it going? Good
becoming
evening.
a regular on the show now. Um, but yeah, thanks for joining again. Um,
No problem.
Today we will talk about. I think the title is clear. It's ARRIVABENE's words on Dybala, but just in general, and about the moment of the interview, basically, because I think that's important or that's key. Then we will talk a bit about transfer news that came out again, good one from good sources for once, and then just in general, let's see what the chat has to say in general, like always. Let me see. Okay, home view is in. Is the sound good? The sound is. Let me see. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So we will start off with. Let me see. Okay, we will start off with what ARRIVABENE said. So today, this morning, I woke up. I knew he had an interview, but the newspapers release at let's say I think it's 6 in the morning. But they always give you like a sneak peek or a preview, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun because the sneak peek was a bit spicy. So I woke up. That was the first thing I did. Like I searched the article. It was in the Corriere dello Sport, which is weird that it was crazy.
Yeah, I got it streaming with the sound off, and no, I can't tell you the sound, but the video's good,
Okay,
and it just cut out right now. So yeah, a bit of stutter. It's good though.
let me see because I hate YouTube. I don't know what it. People in the chat, let us know if we're back. I think we're back because it's perfect. But YouTube gives me some negative feedback, but the streaming service says everything is perfect. But yeah, so ARRIVABENE, his interview, he spoke a lot, and he spoke not just about like Dybala was basically the main topic, but he was open about a lot of things. But we will start off with Dybala. I made a video on Dybala today, so for the people who watched it, I went into it in depth. But I will ask your opinion. I will read out the quote first. He said basically a lot, so I picked up the most relevant things out of it. He said we had reached an agreement in the autumn, so new evaluations were necessary now. Basically, he said, which can be summed up in 4 parameters, and this was key for me. He said the technical aspect, and then he says the number of actual appearances, the duration of the contract, and the economic value, um, basically linked to the player himself. And he said these parameters must be respected. Then he also said, he said, I forgot what I was trying to say. Oh, he said like we agreed something in December, but then because of the capital increase, we needed to wait, blah blah blah. And his agent, so Dybala's agent, asked me, so we are free now. And ARRIVABENE said, I said yes, because at the moment we cannot give you that deal. We cannot sign it. We cannot, give you the money. So yeah, you're free. So that he also said, and then he went on saying, or he was asked basically, he was asked, oops, that's not it. Oh, I forgot to put in the quote. But yeah, he was asked, is it done, the deal, or will you give him a new lower deal? And he said like it depends on how Dybala will act, basically in the meeting, how he will act. Nothing is decided yet. So, what was your opinion or your reaction when you read the entire thing on Dybala, basically?
I loved it, and I think a lot of people loved the reaction. It's transparent. At least he's just putting out there. He's got his heart on his sleeve, and he's given us the information that we want to know. Like what are the parameters on how we do business? And at least in this situation, in terms of Dybala, he's saying these 4 things. These are our parameters, and you can break them down. Obviously, you look at technical aspect. Yeah, sure, he's a technical player, but then you look at the number of actual appearances.
Yeah.
That's a big hurdle right there. And then the regular business, the duration, the value, how much to pay, all that. That's of course going to happen. But those first 2 points, he's good on one, but not good on the other. So clearly there has to be somewhere to meet in the middle, and I'm thinking that's where they're trying to make the business, saying this is where we value. This is the math. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It makes sense to us. Doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah.
And we'll find out.
No, when I read that, I have two, not theories, like two things I believe are true, or like the moment of the interview release, and like a few hours later it came out they will meet on Monday. So it was like, it's not, how do you want to say that, like it's not a coincidence that it happened now. I don't think the journalist ringed up ARRIVABENE and said, hey, do you want to interview? I think it was ARRIVABENE calling the journalist, because he was basically saying, you know what, Dybala and agent, this is it. Like, he basically said everything. Like, he gave up private conversations, like the December quote saying, yeah, you're free now. So I think he's saying, listen, we will meet next week, but be prepared. We're not going beyond what we are offering. It's that or nothing. You can leave. Like, we have no problem with you leaving. That was one theory I have. And the second one was, which I now forget. I forgot. That's crazy. I forgot what I wanted to say. But that was one
It's
of the main
Fridays.
ones.
You do this on Fridays.
Yeah, Friday is my blank out day. That's one thing I had in mind. And the second part was, oh yeah, he said, oh yeah, you're free to go in December. But from December to up till now, it's about mid-December, so it's 3 months now, right? We have never heard JJ saying lost video and sound. Can anyone confirm we're still talking? Because, oh my god.
Yeah.
We're good, right? No,
it's good on my end.
No, we lost video and sound. I have no idea why, because I figure, I don't know.
It's funny because it's good on my end. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, because the streaming service is saying it's perfect. So it's very, very strange that this keeps happening. It's YouTube
Local
that gives
outages.
Let me see.
I wonder if it's region specific, even if it's somebody in Americas, Europe, what have you.
I have no idea because it's perfect on my end. Like the numbers.
WVPRO says we're good. Oh, let's continue on. It's good. It's good for some people.
Okay, very strange because it cannot get better. And video. Okay. Where were we? Oh yeah. So my second theory on all this is the December quote. So he basically said in December, yeah, you're free to talk with anyone. You're free to leave. But up till now, we never heard he's close to joining that team, or he has agreement with that team, or that team is just waiting to bring him in. It's just, yeah, Barcelona are interested, City, maybe Real, like all those teams, maybe Inter, but like nothing concrete. So that makes me believe his agent and Dybala have nothing in their hands, nothing concrete, no offer, and they're just playing, I don't want to say like a cat and mouse game. Like that's how it feels. And then when I recorded the Dybala video, Gazzetta dello Sport came out saying his agent can still not make deals because the Italian Federation didn't, how do you want to say, approve his, how do you want to, like his how do you want to say it, his degree licensing, or like everything what he needs to make the deals happen. The Italian Federation, Football Federation said, nah, it's not legal over here. I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm looking at Dybala, yeah, I'm like,
makes sense.
This is about big money, and you're playing with it, you're toying with it. It's an absolute mess, and I think ARRIVABENE had enough. Like he actually had enough. So he he comes from the Ferrari, where I think everything is serious and everything is black and white. Yeah. It's black and white. He comes in this world, and I think he's like, what the actual hell is happening over here? Because this is not nobody's serious. And the Dybala,
you like the motto, I guess, eh? Black and white. But...
yeah, but like I've never seen anything like, because he's a high profile player, but his agent choice is amateuristic, and not this one, his previous one also. Like he had a lawsuit against his previous one about image right, and Juve paid off that agent. It was Juve, not Dybala. The club paid off his agent to go away. So
Yeah.
that's also, I'm like, the club helped you. It was about big money, and the club said, you know what, we take care of it. You change your agent, and then he picks up a random friend of the family. I get that, but like, like,
Some players, though, there's always one of those players throughout sports that just cannot get a legitimate representation, and then just this drama ensues for years, really. Like Icardi is another one using his wife.
yeah,
He can, he can go down some rabbit holes with that one. But yeah, it's just every so often you get one of these players, and player of his caliber should have that locked down. But clearly, he wants to give us something to talk about on the weekends because hey, it's pretty funny.
yeah. I mean, I don't. It's weird, no,
Oh,
because
it's weird. Yeah, that's why it's funny. It's funny because it's weird.
it's about big money. I think people like it's about big money, and you come across as being very amateuristic. Like, I don't get it. Like, if I were a player, I need to get it done. Like, I can break my, like, knock on wood, I can break my foot. I don't know, I can break something, and no team is giving me that money because it's a big risk. Like, it happens. That's why in NFL players, they don't show up. Like, they hold out. Like, I'm not playing. So I think at some point he needs to see, like, this is madness what is happening over here. Like, it's actually madness, and he's not being called up to the national team, which maybe is a positive because he doesn't play over there. But maybe it's positive that he actually will be at the meeting, and I hope on Monday. First of all, I hope it happens for once.
Yeah, the first thing. Yeah,
That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I hope we actually get a clear idea, picture. Like, he's gonna say, or no, no chance. It's not gonna happen. He's gonna leave. I think it will be the best for everyone for the last few games, like having clarity. Um, but yeah, let's see. Before we go into the next part, and that's not on Dybala, so people are angry. I will read out some quotes or some chats. Home View saying, will the game versus Villarreal affect Juve's performance in Serie A? I believe it will, but we play Salernitana, so I mean, even without Locatelli, they're bad. Like, let's be honest. I'm not gonna hype up Salernitana. Um, Ryan is saying, I would pay Dybala at least amount of salary for less years. Okay, so 7.5 for less years. So that we can sell him straight away and have money instead of selling him as a free agent. A lot of people are saying that, but that's not realistic. Like, no club is gonna do that. Dybala is also not stupid. Like, that's not gonna happen. It's not
yeah,
gonna
it's
happen.
too late for that.
It's too late.
Last year, like we've been talking about this for what 3 seasons now. This is something we would have said about a season or two ago, but
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
yeah, we can't
It's too
anymore.
late. Like, it's up to the point. Like, if you're signing him, he's gonna stay until the end of his contract, or he's gonna leave on a free. Stephanie made it to a show, so welcome. um, JJ saying Berna is suspended. No, he's back for us. He's back. He's gonna play midfield. That's I read Danilo will maybe play midfield,
Yeah.
and that's actually insanity. I think at that point the club should
Yeah.
like come to the training ground and say like, no, 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 you have Miretti, you play him, you play him. Don't play Danilo in
I would
midfield.
think so. But he wouldn't start him. He'd put him on for like 15 minutes at the end, maybe.
Yeah,
Probably like 7.
Danilo's not a midfielder. Like, it makes absolutely no
But
sense. It's actually
that's why it's gonna happen. Like,
it's actually
we've proven
insane.
this. We've proven this like week after week that if it sounds insane, that it's probably right.
Because Miretti will play in Serie A next season. Not for us, but he will play in Serie A.
Yeah, he'll
Because
probably play for
he's too good. He's too
whoever.
talented.
He'll play for whoever replaces Salernitana.
I think even better. I think he will get a better team. I
Yeah,
think he will, because
maybe. Hopefully.
he's too talented to be stuck in the under 23s. He's too talented. Yes, he needs to get experience now. He needs to play like add enough of, like, look at Barcelona. They have like 5 18-year-old, even younger. Just play them. They play them and they're balling.
Yeah.
They trust them. They trust them. If it doesn't work out, they will send them on loan and they will come back. If they don't come back, there's a reason why they come back. They were never good enough. But if you keep sugarcoat, like keep, I don't want to say like treating them as a babies basically, and then loan them out again, and then when they come back, they're 23 if they make it, or 24. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, by that stage, you should know where they're at.
Yeah.
And if there's just re-entering your team, yeah, you have an issue. Like Pellegrini, for instance, he's kind of in that weird stage right now.
He's at the club because he didn't want to leave in the summer. He said, I'm not leaving. And that's why he's at the club. I think people
Yeah,
forget
do you blame him?
No, but no, I just want to point out that it's not that the club rates him or Allegri.
No.
I don't rate him, but he didn't want to leave. Like he wants to have to fight for his place.
But he's clearly good enough to at least play for Juventus in some capacity. But because he hasn't been given all that experience previous when he was younger, he's now showing up to the team expecting to play games and just trying to figure out how the whole thing works. It's not really fair to the player. You got to get these guys some time in. Like even if it's a couple matches here and there, just throw them in. Do something. You got to give them that exposure.
But also competing with Sandro, I mean that's not a big challenge.
And that's the thing. There's no competition. So what's the problem?
He's competing with no one. He's competing with a ghost basically. So
but for midfield, who's Moretti competing for right now? Like, apparently Bernardeschi and Danilo.
Like,
so
if I watch Arthur play, I'm like, come on, like Allegri, like you don't rate Arthur. Like I lied yesterday. I said I'm not gonna rewatch the game. I rewatched the game today because I had too much free time, so I did that. And in that second half, I was focusing on Arthur again. I'm like, he missed so many easy chances for a player playing at that level. It should easy passes. So many, time in, time again. Teixeira, at some point, he had enough. Like he was yelling. He was like, "Just play me the play me the ball. Like stop playing sideways." And I saw the stat
there's a bit of that
of his passing. The way he was passing, I was like, "Oh my god." He was passing to Rabiot and Danilo for 90 minutes. That's what he was doing. I'm like,
yeah, and that's why Danilo had so many touches.
Yeah, he had the most touches. now I get why. But I'm like, really? Because we had the ball. Like, really? Miretti couldn't do anything? Or against Sanitano where we get the ball? I'm like, come on. Like, at some point, he doesn't like Arthur. But yeah. Let me see. Sikatura saying, look, imagine if you give a chance to Miretti and he turns out to be like Pedri or Gavi. What do you think? But it's Allegri. He will never give a chance to these guys. I think the club needs to force him. Saying, we will sell Arthur, we will sell Rabiot, but you get Pogba. I'm just saying something, or Savic, or name it, and that's it. You're going to use Miretti to fill up that squad. That's it. Because at some point, you need to do that. Like, you actually need to do it. And I'm not saying go out there and hope Miretti will save your season next season. Just ease him in. Ease him in, bit by bit. But, yeah.
Get him a couple games with the team before he gets loaned out, so at least he knows what Juventus is about. Like he's not figuring anything out. You gotta learn by doing stuff. I don't know. I'm all about the young guys too. I don't want to say I'm on one of those hype train guys on all the young dudes, but I want to see him play a little bit. And it's kind of disheartening because I just imagine me, like I was often not the first stringer whenever I played. And when you get that chance, and you always get the chance because the coach has a heart and he's like, okay, you suck, but you get to play 5 minutes today. Go, and at least you get to do it. Allegri's not doing any of that.
No, I get that, but like I'm not saying play, but like use youngsters in positions where you are in emergency, like at the back, like in midfield. That's all I'm asking for. Like I'm not saying play Sule when you had Dybala and all those players fit, because I get why you're not doing that, But you're like you have nobody. Like you have two midfielders. Locatelli assess positive. You have two midfielders. That's it. That's actually it. So I'm like, come on.
But Bernardeschi can play any position, as we know. So
I mean, and talking about Bernardeschi, home with you saying, I just saw Italy's squad, but I didn't see Bernardeschi. I think he deserves to be in the squad after his two important bans in the Euro. He was injured for a very long time. He will not contribute to Italy going to the World Cup because he's just not fit. And even if he pants, I don't know if that's it. I'm not sure.
I don't. I think us Italy fans have to really worry about our attack the next couple games.
Yeah. To be honest,
Really.
yeah, I saw that squad, and that's. But again, Locatelli, I think he will make it back. But Tonali had some problems. I think he got called up. I've not really checked about it, but I saw that attack, and it doesn't look good. Like, we know that without Chiesa, you know what it's gonna be. But yeah, we move on to the next quote, and that's not about Dybala. It's just in general, or like this is about the Champions League basically, which I was shocked a bit, to be honest. But he said the goal this season was to reach the round of 16 and top 4. Once we reached the first one, so the round of 16, we proceeded game after game. He also said, like, I'm a fan, so I know how everybody feels, but I just need to keep my cool because I'm in a different position. I'm not in a fan position. But I was like, okay, fine. The goal was reaching the round of 16, but you lost against Villarreal. Like, you cannot say that. If you lost against Liverpool, Man City, I will be like, yeah, they're the better team. Yeah? But you lost against Villarreal, and I will repeat it, not 1-0, 3-0, when you needed a 1-0 win. That sat wrong with me when I read that quote. I'm like, you can't be satisfied with that. Like, you just can't. Even if that was the goal, at the end of the day, it was Villarreal. Like, and I'll keep saying, I respect Villarreal. I'm probably one of the few on the channel because they have a good coach. I respect their coach. But I'm like, you can set a goal, but then if you let's say you play Inter away. I'm just saying something, and you set the goal about a point is okay. But then 45 minutes in, there were 9 men, 2 red cards. You need to adjust your goal. Like, you need to win that game. That's how I'm thinking about it. So when I read that, I was like, this doesn't feel right for me. But yeah, what do you think? Was it okay to set that goal at the start of the season? And do you think we needed to, I didn't say that, rephrase that goal, set a new goal when we got Villarreal?
I think, yeah, so the goals are set at the beginning of the season, and that's what he's quoting. Internally, they probably make adjustments, week to week. Oh, we should be able to get Villarreal. I know the goal at the beginning of the season was top 16, but we could probably make it to the quarters against Villarreal in this situation. That didn't happen. So now he's probably just trying to play that more political card when he's talking to the media, be more level-headed, kind of take the emotion out of it, because he seems to me very emotionless in that he doesn't try to really sway opinions one way or the other. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He just says it. So I think in this case, he's just stating that was our goal. We met that first goal. We have another goal we still need to meet, and we have to do that game by game. It's just very matter of factly, and that's just to get the media off his back in that case.
Yeah. So when I read that, I was like, you cannot really sell that to fans after what happened this week. Probably me, because I'm one of those fans who's not buying it. So
it's just a very neutral response.
Yeah, but because he's always that open and honest, I was like, no. I was like, I expected him to say like that was a goal, but at the start of the season. But now we adjusted it and we didn't met it, like, because that's actually the reality. Like, everybody, like, nobody believes. Yeah, the round of 16 was the goal, but like, if in the end of the day, if you got Villarreal, like, the goal should have been the last 8. It should be the.
I think this is him trying to stay positive or put a positive sort of spin without showing that he's disappointed. This is just his way of like to say it is what it is. I'm not happy, but I'm not gonna go and make a big scene. Like, I don't know, pick any other Italian manager or management in the league. They make a whole soap opera about it, right? He's not that guy.
Yeah, I get that, but it's just a weird moment. Like before I went live, I saw the tweet about Juve, like, doing that crypto thing again. I'm like, oh, this is not the moment. Like, fans are losing it. Or it's already a bit strange, that crypto thing in football. And then you post it at this moment in time. I'm like, just calm down. And you saw it, like the reception on that tweet was like, Like, yeah, you can imagine what the quote tweets were. Like, read the room. I know you have commitments and scheduled posts and stuff, but like, sometimes you just need to need to quit it. Like, don't
It's
do it.
that's just the corporation
Yeah,
working
I
too,
know, I
right?
know.
That's what you say. You have the schedules and timelines, and there's so many different arms of these big companies that that stuff doesn't get filtered. So it might not even be a fan of Juventus or whatever. They just got a job because
Yeah,
their
yeah,
friend, their uncle's friend, had an in with the company, right? Like
yeah,
that's how
yeah.
it works in Italy. So
I understand
yeah, those things happen.
that. And then we move on to one of his, not his last quote, but I thought one of the most interesting one. Because we talk about the future of the club and stuff, and all where are we heading, and basically what is our moment now, what's the future. So he said the Champions League exit was unpleasant, but it doesn't change our plans one bit. One chapter closes and another opens. The club is focused on a 3-year plan, a 3-year project in which, as we all know, the financial aspect must coexist with the sporting one. So apparently we have a 3-year project. So I'm gonna hold the club to it because he said it's 3 years. So at the end of the 3 years, I expect again dominating Serie A and competing in Europe. Do you think that's fair for me to expect that?
I think that's what we all expected, regardless of our situation. So if
Okay.
things are supposed to be getting better, then
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, that's what we're expecting. If not, obviously better than what we're getting now, because we're not happy. We're
Yeah.
we're clearly not happy because we're the past couple of days we've been going on about it.
But I'm happy he said that because this is the first
Yeah,
time someone came out and said we have a 3-year plan project. Like I hate, like those are kind of buzzwords. Like we joke about it on the channel, me and Julian, like our project. But this is the first time the club actually said like we have a 3-year plan. They didn't mention what the plan is, but they say we have a 3-year plan, a 3-year project. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold you up to it now. Like you said it, not me. It's you. So I'm like, 3 years, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. This year included. So this year it's not great, so you're gonna need to do a lot of catch up in my opinion to show some if at the end of the 3 seasons, the 3 years, we're just competing for the title and they came out and say this was the plan all over, I'm like, oh boy. Like you
the
sold us a
first
fake
couple
dream.
years are always really hard. I don't know how many teams you follow or
A
paid
lot.
attention to that have been through like a complete rebuild, or
A
at least a
lot.
partial
Yeah,
rebuild.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
understand.
it's
But
ugly.
it's ugly. I get that.
It's
But
so ugly.
when I look around, I look at Inter. I'm like, nah. I look at Milan. I'm like, Napoli will
Yeah, they
always be
don't excite
Napoli.
you.
So I'm like, within 3 years, you need to dominate again. And with dominate, I mean just win the Serie A again quite comfortably. Like not with 15 points leading. Um. So again, he said it, not me. So I'm gonna hold him to it. So I expect moves being made now until the summer, from the summer until the 2004 summer, I think it is. Yeah, then it's 3 years. He also spoke about Vlahovic and Zakaria, basically saying we anticipated the moves because we were scared that we couldn't compete with the money offered to Vlahovic in the summer. So I'm like, that's fair. Like, but then he also said he was strongly wanted us. So I'm like, yeah, that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah,
He also said Locatelli
all
wanted
true
us.
things.
Yeah, he said also Locatelli wanted strongly us. So those are the players we're gonna build around. And then the news came out saying Vlahovic is now at the center of the project, not Dybala, which to be honest makes more sense because he's younger. Like
Yeah,
it makes sense. But
absolutely.
um, so yeah, those were quotes from ARRIVABENE. I will read out some chats because before we move on.
Yeah, the chats are going on today. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. Where do I start? Ryan saying so it's best not to play Vlahovic next match against Sanitana because of his yellow card. If he picks up a yellow card, he misses Inter. But like he should be composed enough to not pick up a yellow card. Like I don't
That's
like.
part of being paid as a
Yeah,
professional.
like don't do anything. You're a striker. Like you can go a game without. I hope. Like I don't want to jinx it. Like just staying calm. It's Sanitana. Just play your game. Don't do anything stupid. But it's a risk. Like like wanting to win the ball, being a bit too late, stepping on someone's foot, and it's a yellow. And referees know you're gonna be suspended, so it's a risk. It is. Like, if you're up 2-0 at halftime or something like that, which it's a dream at this point. But, like, if it's over, just take him off. Like, even if it's international break, like, you cannot risk him to not have him ready for, or to not have him in the squad to face Inter, because that's big. That's actually very, very big. Let me see. Travis saying, do you think that in the last 2 seasons we missed a good chance to do a real rejuvenation of the squad? I do. I actually do. I think we, and that's why I keep saying, okay, I will say it again. Like, those 3-year deals for Quadrado, that's a no-go for me. It's a no-go. Like, the 2-year deal for Chiellini, I keep saying I love Chiellini, but, like, that's not rejuvenation. That's not it. When you sell Kulusevski after 1 year and a half, that's not rejuvenation. That's, I don't know what it is, but it's not rejuvenation. In my opinion.
I think Chiellini needs to be talked about separately.
I get that, but, like,
we get it every day.
Yeah, but he's taking up a spot for a player who actually can play, because I know people say, oh, he's in the locker room. Great, but he's taking up a spot. The club is not like, oh, yeah, you can stay here for the how you want to say it, for the vibes or for the experience, and we're gonna bring in another player on your position. That's not happening, is it? If it was, I was like, okay, if you can afford it, I'm good. But we're not doing that. So for me, that's an issue, because it's holding back a future plan, in my opinion. A player could have come in, and I'm just throwing out a name, a Botman, and could have learned beyond. He doesn't need to learn because he is experienced, but you know what I mean. Like, he could have played with De Ligt and Bonucci and interchange. And we had this season to develop him, and then you can slightly move on from Bonucci. I think that's what top clubs do. Like, Real Madrid could have said to Ramos, you're going to say, here is your money. But they said, no. Like, absolute legend of the club. Just, ciao. They basically said, you can leave. Varane, you want to have more money? Go. We start over again. We start again.
But when we do that, then we yell at them when we do that. Like Del Piero, for instance, still not really talking to the club. You know, when we get rid of our stars and just throw them to the side.
No, not to the side. But that was different.
But you got to treat, like, this is at least for me a good sign that, hey, maybe we've learned from those mistakes. Treat Chiellini well. This is clearly going to be his last season. We're hoping, you know, try to get into the World Cup. You got to get regular minutes. So this was obviously a handout. You've given us so many amazing seasons. You just won a Euro. We'll give you one more. If it happens after this, let's see if we'll find out here in a couple of weeks if Italy does make the World Cup. And if not, I think that's got to be the end of the road, at least as a player.
You know, you said maybe we learned from it, and I will say why I don't believe we learned from it, because good sources are saying we're going to give 3 years to Quadrado, 3 years to De Sciglio. For me, that's not learning. And I get their backups, but, like, be a backup for 1 year more. Like, we need to move on next summer. Like, I get you cannot replace everyone. I really get that. But you shouldn't be at the club for 3 years. Like, you replace the starter, and next season you also replace the substitution, because they've been here a very long time. They're declining. Some of them have been on loan and came back. So I'm like, that's not it, in my opinion. I think the club has done a lot of things of holding back rejuvenation, and they talk about it, or the media talks about it, and according to ARRIVABENE, that's the way they're going. Like, young with sell-on value, if possible Italian, which for me that's not really important. I just want good players. Like, if they're Italian, okay, better. That's true. Not all of them. Like, it helps. It does help, but they need to be quality, in my opinion. So that sticks with me. It does. Let me see. Let me see the comment. Ooh, I skipped like 20 comments. Let me scroll back. What the hell happened?
Yeah, there's a few going on.
I cannot follow anymore. I wanted to read some out, but let me see.
And throw a few more likes out there, guys, if you don't mind. We only got about half the thumbs up for what we have watching right now.
Yeah, let me figure out the chat because I have no. United Fire saying, "What is the one trophy you guys want to win most?" Might be obvious, so yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
We'll
obvious.
take what we get at this point.
Let me see the comments. And scroll back again. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just gonna start from the bottom. Martin saying, look, I will play with the strongest setup every time. If Vlahovic can control his temper, he will learn. If not playing Inter. We should be able to close the game within 45 minutes. Then you can pull up players. Yeah, we should, but let's be honest. Like, we cannot presume that it's gonna happen because we did that this season already and it backfired. So Mazine is saying the current management, they're fixing the mistakes of the previous ones, and at the same time building a new team. We will be strong again. Currently, oh my god, what the hell do I have today? We are not a Class A team. We will be again. Yeah, like, I've no doubt that we'll be back again. Like, that's not, I never denied that. But I'm like, I see good things, but I also see the same mistakes. So I'm like, I cannot say for certain, yeah, it's gonna bang. You know what I mean? Like, I still have many doubts about everything. Even if they got Zakaria and Vlahovic, I see other things that make me think, like, you're still not sure. You know, you want to move on, but you also don't want to move on. You're like, you basically need some therapy to get over it. That's the feeling I get, or the vibe I get sometimes when news comes out or when ARRIVABENE speaks. Also, Cherubini never speaks. Like, usually the sporting director speaks. Like, now is a general manager basically. So that's new. I think it's better that way. I like it.
I think in this case, especially since it was sort of radio silenced right after the game, that it was probably shut down comms. We need to talk about this. Mean Man's gonna go out there. I'm gonna be the guy that takes the brunt of the media, say what I have to say, and take the edge off. And then, the following days we kind of get back at it. I think that was just him stepping up as the leader.
Yeah, I would agree. But just in general, it's always him who speaks, and Nedved. But Cherubini never speaks. But I like that because he's the guy who makes, like, he is the one who goes out for players. So yeah. I don't want him in front of the mic, to be honest. Yeah, I would love to get some news, but I know what questions he's gonna be asked, and like, you will get some generic answers. I'm like, I don't need it.
It's part of the game.
It's part of the game. I agree, guys. As you know, as you can see, video is sponsored by Sportening. Just scan the QR code on the screen. It will take you straight to our group chat we created in the app. So do that, or the link is in the video description. But I think scanning the code is much easier because it's an app, so you can just straight download it on the phone. I saw a good question. It was from JJ. He's asking, how many transfer windows will it take to rebuild? At a minimum 2 summers, I think. And me and Julian made a podcast about it, I think a month and a half ago, and we said 2 summers at least. And I still stand by that because, again, okay, we lost against Villarreal, but still we have some very good players. We have a lot of average players and some bad players. But we have a good core of players with De Ligt, with Locatelli, with Chiesa and Vlahovic. It's now up to the club to fill in the missing pieces. And with missing pieces, I mean a solid left back, a good midfield, like a respectable midfield, because the midfield is still not respectable. Like, it's like Ramsey, okay, he's gone now. Betancourt, we know what Betancourt was. Rabiot, we know what Rabiot is. Arthur, now we know what Arthur is. And then you just have Locatelli in there. Now you have Zakaria, which to be honest, I forgot he was playing for us. Because before we went live, I saw an article and a Reddit saying he will be back after a break for the first game against Inter. I forgot about him. I actually forgot about him, and that's sad.
He played because, 2 games and then he was gone?
Yeah, 3 games or something, and I was like, that made me actually sad because I like Zakaria. I do like him. I think he will offer us something different. And we have McKennie. I keep forgetting McKennie.
Yeah, that one hurts because he was developing.
He was our most informed player without a doubt at that moment in time.
And even for the national team too, he was picking it up. So it was nice to see. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's fair. Like at the start of the season, I was hammering it. Like I think he deserved that because he was not playing well. Like it felt like he had no idea what was going on. But
probably didn't.
When January hit, I was like, wow, okay, you have a place in this squad moving forward. You actually do. If that's what you can offer, Allegri will love you. He will love you, and he will play a lot. And he was actually playing well. He was going past players on the ball, like the runs he makes. I was like, I love it, like what you're doing. And I think if he played that game against Villarreal, it could have been different because I don't believe Arthur would have played and Locatelli would have played, and he can actually give some of those balls. Arthur absolutely can, and the runs because there was a lot of space, especially in the first half. There was space. In the second half, they closed shop basically.
And with Locatelli running at the defense, McKennie would be doing that too. There would have been a lot more pressure.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah,
that's the thing I love about McKennie. He is so American, like right down to his fried chicken and cheeseburgers, like down to how he just wants to go through the defense and just like plow through and make something happen.
Yeah, it's sad that he's out because that's something we actually really didn't need. Yeah, we didn't need Chiesa to be out because if Chiesa was fit, it would be again a completely different story. But they're out, so you need to deal with it. Yeah. It's what it is, you know. So yeah, let me see in the chat. Mr. Lex saying if we would have beaten Villarreal, would have played Bayern. Yeah, we would. But then again, like it's not like if you lose 3-0 to Bayern, it's like yeah, they're a better squad, but I'd rather lose.
The point is, yeah, we should have had that option.
We should have had that option. So yeah. What we're gonna talk about now? Okay, some transfer news basically, and it's good. It's from Gazzetta dello Sport, but it's from Fabiana Della Valle, who broke the Vlahovic. I respect her. He's actually a very good journalist. I know he works for the Gazzetta dello Sport, but she's actually very good. The questions she asked, I actually like her. He wrote a lot. Like he wrote the entire daily video news basically. And you know, international break, transfer news comes out. That's how it always is. I think still it's a bit early, but in my video I said like we're getting a clear picture of which direction we want to go with the players, with the profiles and stuff like that. So the first thing she said, was Rudiger. He basically said we are kind of leading the race, like we are in seriously for him because Allegri really likes him. He's 29, I think, Rudiger, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously 30. I think he's 29. If you can check, I think he's 29. I think he is. But yeah. So
29, March 3rd, 93.
March. Okay, he will 30.
So it's just
30. Yeah, in a few days, 2 weeks time, less than 2 weeks time.
He would have just turned.
Didn't you say 30 March? 13.
March 3rd.
Oh, 3rd. I got 30.
Yeah. So he just turned.
Okay,
29.
so he's 29. And again, I said in my video, that's prime for a defender. Like he can play until he's 35. Injury free, good defenders. 35. You know, like a Chiellini, with less injuries. And that's basically. And then she said Bremer is an alternative. And Milankovic from Fiorentina, like Bremer is going to Inter, and Milankovic, he's a good backup. If you want to compete for the big things, I don't think he's a starter. I don't see it in him.
And I know you probably don't want to hear this, but what happened with the Romagnoli talks? Is that
off the table? He's going Lazio. Thank God. He's going Lazio.
So yeah, that quieted up pretty quick.
Yeah, he is a Lazio fan, so that makes sense. To be honest. What doesn't make sense is that he's gonna earn less than what Milan were offering him. So, but yeah,
play for your that is something. Play for your club. Yeah, that loyalty. So
with Raiola as your agent, that's kind of impressive, I would say. But so it's Rudiger. My take on him is he was bad before Tuchel came in at Chelsea. He wasn't good. I remember it like it was a witch hunt from the Chelsea fans. They wanted him out. They wanted him out. When Tuchel came in, big time player, actually a baller, like one of the best in Europe at the moment in his position, and that's not even overstating it. But they play in a back three most of the time. They play sometimes in a back four. Like that's, you know, sometimes. Like yeah, you can do a few games, but he impresses in a back three. We don't play a back three, and I don't want to see a back three, and I don't think Allegri wants to see a back three. So I'm like, and then yesterday, or no, before yesterday, he came out and he said, yeah, I left my heart in Italy. So like he's flirting basically, like he's basically saying, yeah, make me the offer, and I will think about it, you know. So what do you think about bringing in Rudiger?
The money is the big hurdle.
Wait, I will say that quickly. Because he played in Italy, he will come back and he will fall under that rule. So
yes,
his
true,
wage will be like around 7 or something. So it will be a respectable
for 2
wage.
years though, right? It's only for 2 years.
I think it's 3. It will be a deal at least 3 years, at least.
But the that rule, the Italian,
if you play at least 2 years in Italy, then you fall under a rule forever. Basically, they didn't change that.
Oh, it's forever. I okay. I misunderstood
they changed
that. All right,
they changed that. So it's for
it's changed a couple times. I think that's probably why I don't.
Wait, it's until the end of the deal you agreed. That's a rule.
Okay, that's what it is. All right, now I know. My bad. In that case, we're looking at 7. That's a lot more digestible. Yeah, give or take. It's still a good chunk of change, but if we're trying to replace essentially Chiellini and Bonucci, I don't know if Bonucci. Well, if he stays on as a backup, yeah, and then you have, say, Rugani, Bonucci as your 3rd and 4th, and you have obviously De Ligt and then Rudiger. I think that's very viable. I don't know. Like I'm not exactly a huge fan of Rudiger.
Yeah, me neither.
He doesn't excite me, but I can't see that being bad. It's probably better. It's an upgrade, I would say, especially with the aging guys that we have now. So yeah, sure. I can go with it. I'm not excited about it, but I'll play ball.
It's fair. He's also a free transfer. But like maybe I'm dreaming. I am dreaming. I will say, because what I want to say is a dream. I would not expect, but like I would love the club to go like, you know what? It's the Ligt. Chiellini, yeah, it's done. Bonucci, maybe next summer it's also done for you. We need the future Chiellini and Bonucci, you know, and we need to start young. Now we're in the rebuilding phase. You can do that basically, and I was like, get me a Saliba, get me a Botman, you know, get me a Pau Torres, because Julian loves him, just for Julian. But he's actually a good player. He's not my number 1 pick, but he's a good player.
We don't have enough Spaniards on our team anyways.
Yeah. But like, get me one of those guys who are young, but they are experienced. They have experience, good experience, but they're young, talented. I would say ready-made. They will make some mistakes, but that's okay. That's fine. I understand that. Like, I remember Bonucci when he came in. It was a mess. I remember Chiellini at the beginning. It was a mess. Like, let's be honest. But
Bonucci sometimes still is a mess.
Yeah, but they developed, and they are they're the best in their generation. I'm up there. Like, Chiellini is absolutely up there. I think we laugh about Bonucci, but he was a very good player. Like, he was. It was.
But even De Ligt, his first year or two, like the media was trashing him. Like, oh, he's not ready for the big time. Whatever.
Yeah, and so I think that's normal. Like, that's why I say with the Muretti one, like, you cannot like babysit them forever. They're gonna make mistakes. That's normal. They're young players. Yeah. It's okay. They need to make mistakes, because otherwise they will never learn. Like, nobody comes in and makes no mistake unless your name is Messi and you're different. You know, like, it's different. But normally Young players, they will make stupid decisions. They will make mistakes, but that's fine. Like, they need to learn.
Yeah.
They're not gonna learn in the under 23s because the pressure is not the same. But yeah, like for me, it's Saliba. Like,
All right, Ryan
yeah,
Saliba wants
Ryan
it's
Saliba.
the same.
He's very talented. Like, he can actually defend proper, and he's rapid. He's so quick, but it's not gonna happen. It's probably gonna be Rudiger, or at the moment, it's gonna be Rudiger. You know, because people say Gatti, but I don't believe that cannot be the option.
I don't.
Like,
Yeah, I can't
be.
see what's. I still believe I'm going with the conspiracy theory of that he's just a bargaining chip.
I think, but
But
not for
that's
Bremer.
that was the original idea.
Yeah,
but
that was original.
Yeah, you know, they pick up some of these random players out of nowhere, like Ihatrin, for instance.
Yeah,
you know, that obviously didn't work out. It's probably a name we probably all forgot about.
When he came in and people were saying, oh, but for the under 23s, loaning out, playing him in the first team. Okay, because I watched Dutch League. I'm like, he's not ready, not even close for the first team. He
got homesick.
Yeah, but he went back to Ajax, and the Ajax coach said basically he can't run. He can't run for the under 23s for us, let alone playing for the first team. That's what he said about him.
Yeah, because he was chilling in Italy eating pasta, being homesick.
Not even. Like, he went back to... And I get it. Okay. He had a very tough time. He lost his dad, and
yeah,
he went
I know.
a very dark period. I remember that. But when people say, "Oh, playing for the first team," like that, I would say, have you ever watched him? If not, if you did, you're lying. If not, then you should know he's not ready for the first team.
Yeah. I didn't watch him. He was just a random name that came in. I think most people wouldn't have watched him unless you do watch the Dutch league pretty steadily.
Youssef Mirmo saying, I have to say, I love the fact that De Ligt threw himself at the ball to block it against Villa. Even if he gave a penalty, it shows his mentality as a defender and then his die-hard attitude. To the Dutch media, he said, like, I tried to do whatever I could. Like, I know it was very difficult because I came from a very weird position. The ball was given away. I tried to do something. Like, I'm not gonna blame him. Like, I would have done the same thing. Just throw yourself. It hit his arm. It was done. Like, the game was done.
He was the last line of defense.
Yeah.
And he threw himself at. Like, he literally threw himself at the play, at the ball.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I want to say. It's desperation mode. You either do or die. And unfortunately, it was just that last shot in the forehead.
Yeah, like normal. Like, at that moment, like, it was 92 minutes. It's done. Like, it's 2-0 already. Like, other players.
Yeah, that was also the point I stormed out of the room, of course.
Like, other players will be like, put it in the back of the net. I don't care. But he was like, nah, I'm gonna try to block it one more time. But yeah, like, I saw people blaming, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you're gonna make... That's the issue about that game? That's your takeaway?
No, De Ligt is probably the most Juventus player on Juventus right now.
Yeah, I kind of agree, and I agree, and also Vlahovic, like, when he came in, like,
he still needs a bit of time, but yeah,
it needs time.
Yeah,
sure.
But right now, I'd say De Ligt had hands down because he's been in for a couple years and he's got it going.
I agree, 100%. Let me see. Nothing in the chat. United Fire saying, who are your top 5 realistic transfer targets? I cannot really say that, but stay tuned. At the end of the season, we have some good content coming out, some good videos. But I need to wait until the end of the season for, I think, obvious reasons. But
hot take. Just throw a couple. Just throw a couple names.
My names. Let me see. I will put in Saliba. I'm not thinking about Allegri being the coach, so it's just me. So I'll put in Saliba. I will put on Nkunku. I will put in Savic, Milinkovic-Savic. Yeah, I'm trying to stay realistic, and again, Savic is not really realistic, but, like, you know, it actually can happen if they want.
Yeah, just throw it out there because there's so many variables at this point in the season to give it accurate. Just throw it out.
A left back. I can say Alfonso Davies, but I can.
Yeah, if Davies like hands down, that's who I want.
Sorry, left back. I need time to think about it because it's
realistic options aren't great, but yeah, if you had to
clubs
just
are not going to sell their left backs because it's very difficult to get a very good left back. So,
but if you wanted full backs, you would just say Alfonso Davies and
Trent,
Liverpool.
Robertson, like those players.
Yeah.
But
Alexander Arnold.
Like, yeah. So it's not gonna happen. So I'm like, forget about that. But we need a left back. I don't really know. Like I have three, and then it's for me like, yeah, I don't know. Like I like Bissouma from Brighton. I like Lamptey from Brighton, but like we're not gonna get those players. I like Ndidi from Leicester.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not gonna get those players, so I will stick with those three. You go. It's difficult.
Yeah. You know, I do like Jorginho as an option. Just thinking about the system.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll throw him out there. Why not? I like it. Pogba, I want to see come just so we can stop talking about Pogba.
That's fair. Oh, we were gonna talk a lot about him if he comes because he's gonna ball out for us. I'm 100% sure of that. So yeah.
Okay, I'll continue. I want to see Zaniolo so I can watch you cry on the internet.
No. Okay, so I like Zaniolo as a player. I'm like, don't spend 40+ million because I cannot trust his two knees. And that's no disrespect because he has two big injuries. But as a talent, yes, but he's struggling at the moment. It's not what it is. What it's supposed to be. Should be.
And I'm kind of like Justin. I have this weird thing about like the italicization of the team. And I even one time on FIFA made a point of just like making my whole team Italian players.
That cannot.
And it's just. It was okay. It was bad. But you know what I'm saying? Like just as a challenge, just as something fun to do. And yeah, no, you're not going to get the whole team as an Italian player. No. But I definitely think that's something the team is trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's part of its history, right? So yeah, to get Raspadori, to get Zaniolo, even Palmieri or Cambio. So, you know, all those names are out there because they're Italian.
Yeah, I agree.
That's Italians.
I agree. That's why those names are out there, to be honest, because they're Italian. It's easy to link them with us. But I need to think. I will take Gravenberg, but then I'm saying too many midfielders. You know, that's why. But I like Gravenberg. I like him a lot. It's difficult because I have no idea who's gonna leave. That's why I'm struggling. That's why I'm struggling.
It was just like. Just hot take wish list kind of thing. It's like picking your toy out for Christmas before the Sears catalog comes out.
Yeah, that's it. And then you need when the catalogs come out, you're gonna change everything.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's the latest Transformer. I want that one.
Yeah. Morten saying we will play slower, Pogba. We need to speed things up in our midfield. Bring in a Regista who can play that ball. I think that will help. And Pogba, when he has the freedom, which you will get from Allegri, he's kind of unstoppable. It doesn't need speed. You have speed with Chiesa on the wing, and depending who comes in, who you're gonna play, like that's why I'm struggling. United Fire saying my top five will be Savic, Rudiger, Nkunku, Lodi, Rafinha. That's a good shot, Rafinha from Leeds. If Dybala leaves, Reece James. That's never gonna happen.
You don't see too many English players coming to Italy.
No, but especially not potential world-class players. They're not gonna leave. They're not gonna leave. But Reece James, he's very good. He is. But yeah, the Rafinha one is a good shot. Lodi, I think Julian is swearing when he was reading this because he changed Lodi even in scoring against Man U. When he actually played a decent game, he was like, he's not worth that money. And then he scored and he played a good game.
Did well.
But yeah, Rafinha is a good shot. But I think if he's gonna leave, Rafinha is gonna stay in England because Arsenal are interested, Man U are interested. So it's only fair that he's gonna stay there. Why wouldn't he? Juventino is saying, MC Films is saying, if you don't resign Dybala, why sign Pogba, who's just as injury prone? You know what it is? Dybala has muscle injuries. The injuries Pogba has, they're not muscle injuries. No, but it's a fair point to make. I'm not saying
you and Julian have covered that a lot too. Though.
Yeah,
You kind of broke it down that it's not, the numbers aren't as bad as they kind of look.
Yeah. Nemesis is saying, when was the last time we had a German player? Any 80s? It's Khedira or Emre Can. Emre Can is the last one.
Yeah, those are the guys.
Huides.
It's true. We don't have any Germans right now. That's crazy.
Huides also. One season he scored that goal against Sampdoria with his head. But yeah, I would love German because I love their mentality as a football player. Not Timo Werner. Like not.
See, I was gonna mention. I know he's kind of faltering, and I had actually mentioned this in a chat a month or two ago.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, whenever I play PES or FIFA, he always ends up on my team. Yeah. So it's maybe the universe is telling me something. I don't know.
But yeah, like Germans have a different mentality. Yeah. So, but it's difficult to get them. It's very difficult because it's like Italians picking us or Inter. Like that's how it works. Yusuf is saying, what scares me with Pogba is that with our training regime, who's to say he won't get injured? That's fair, but he picked up his injury. Like the injuries he picked up, like it's just rolled ankles and stuff like that. Like really strange ones, to be honest. Like, and I'm in a very short period of time. I'm like, how unlucky can you be? But let's see. Yeah, Joseph Huides. I know people forget it. I will never forget about him because back in the day I had a different account on Twitter. Then I stopped before I opened the Bianconeri and I tweeted him because he scored against Schalke. With Schalke against Inter. I'm like, now let's do it again, and he quote tweeted it saying I'm ready for it. So that's why I always remember him. Mr. Dag saying, guys, if you had to get one player this summer, who would you go for? Like that's
João Felix to replace Dybala.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I want a midfielder, so pick your name, Mr. Dax. You can choose for me. Don't say Fratesi or stuff.
Yeah.
Joseph is saying, hey, David, is that fresh squeezed maple syrup you're drinking?
It's actually maple whiskey. But actually, so I did create a Twitter. Maybe I'll tape up my Twitter thing. I've been tapping my maple trees for 3 days now, and I already have 5 gallons worth of sap, which is only going to give me about half a liter.
How does it even taste? I never tried that.
Okay, give me your address.
Is that sweet?
Listen.
If it's sweet, I don't want it.
I don't. Okay. But I don't know. You just have to have it. If you have not had maple syrup, please find a source and judge for yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
Is it like honey? Like something like that?
It's sweet. It's the sap. So it's the sap out of a maple tree that you boil down about 40 times, and it caramelizes and gets really thick into a syrup.
40 times.
You have to try it. Listen, okay. So, quick story. I work overseas once in a while, and the people that fed us, a lot of them were from the Balkans. So they've never had maple syrup before. So I brought some maple syrup in, and I kid you not, they said by the next day they made like a big pancake breakfast. I gave them like half a liter of syrup. It was all gone the next day.
Yeah, then it must be good, but I'm not a fan of super sweet things. I don't really like it.
Then you mix it in with a bit of whiskey, and it just
I don't drink.
Whatever. I try to give you an out here, but yeah, if for all those out there in the chat, if you haven't had it, I definitely suggest giving it a go.
Yeah. United Fire saying you never had pancakes. Yeah, but it's not the same as in North America pancakes. We ate pancakes with white sugar on it, like sugar. That's how.
Yeah,
like, they're different pancakes. It's not American pancakes. It's different.
Yeah, it is different. So actually, another quick story. My dad, when he goes to Italy, he trades maple syrup for olive oil.
That's a good trade. Going back to 40, I don't know, back in time. trading. But yeah, that's a fair trade. I
Oh
I,
yeah.
I think
Oh, because it's hard to get really good quality olive oil,
it is.
especially at a decent price here in Canada. So
Um. Okay. Robert Hicks is saying, is Pogba really taking a pay cut? I said it on my daily. I struggle to believe it. But if he does, then he actually wants to come back. So that's positive, I would say. Let me see. Are the same. We got Belgian waffles with maple syrup. No, I eat my Belgian waffle with I don't know. Is it whipped cream? No, not whipped cream. It's like the other white thing. I don't know how you say that in English.
the other white thing.
Yeah,
What are we talking
not
about?
whipped cream. And fruit on it.
Creme fraiche.
Yeah, something like yeah.
Okay, yeah. So creme fraiche is just whipped cream that's been fermented a bit.
Okay.
It's the fancier version, yeah.
Yeah. Norbert also rolling with the maple syrup. Joseph saying that's why Ale is always bitter and negative. He never had maple syrup. Maybe I would be too hyped if I had it. I think I will. So
yeah, we'll do shots of maple syrup before we go live one day.
Nemesis is saying we can't make a progress if you don't build a solid defense. That's true. Like it starts at the back for me always. Not saying play at like don't shut. You know what I mean? Don't play 5 at the back, but you need a solid, stable center back partnership. Otherwise, it will all fall apart because that's for me very important, especially for a Allegri team. They need to be solid, and you go from there. So, I agree. Let me see. Louis is saying, if only we could trade the bad players with the good players. You can do that on FIFA. Yeah. Everything is possible. You can send up the worst player and you get a good one in return, or like the money you in real life will never get for it. But it's FIFA. I saw a super chat, but I missed this. Okay.
Was there one?
Nemesis. No, super chat. A regular chat. Mixing things up. Nemesis saying my top 5 signings will be Savic, Rudiger in case the legs leave, Grimaldo. Yeah, everybody says Grimaldo because it's like an obvious name and he's a good player, but like I'm not really sold on him. Neuhaus, also not really sold on him, but I understand why you put him in that list. And finally, no idea, maybe Scamacca, oh no, or Dembele. They can play in multiple positions. No. Like Dembele, J Medical, they will be happy. They will be back in business. But Scamacca, no, not for 40 mil. He's signing a new deal with Sassuolo, I read today, which is very strange because Inter won him. But let's see. Mr. Dyke saying, Ali, who's your favorite partner to stream live with? Julian, Justin, Malik, or Davide? All of them.
I'll throw you on this. Yeah,
they're all different.
It's like asking a parent which the favorite child. Yeah,
like with Justin, it goes like I have no idea what to expect. It goes all over the place. Like with Julian, I know what to expect. And with you guys also now, it's like Malik is very composed, a bit like me.
Yeah. You and Julian are similar. You're very cut and dry, technical to the
with
to
Justin,
the details.
It's like, oh my god! Like I start the stream, I'm like, it's gonna like, and sometimes I'm trying to avoid some chats because I know it's gonna take a different direction, like a complete different. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna lose it.
He's fun though, and you know what? I mean, he's the only guy I haven't streamed yet, and I'm calling you out. I need to get you on here so I can trash your Marvel universe because I think it's trash. And I want to get that going out there.
You will join soon. You will join soon. Let me see. Yusuf is saying if you had to do like transfers for Rabiot, Arthur, Sandro Dybala, and Chiellini, who would you choose? If you had to do like for like transfers, well, that's a difficult question. Like that's very difficult because that's living in fantasy world. To be honest, because like I would say. You can get Rabiot, you can give me Toni Kroos, or you can get Sandro and you give me Alphonso Davies, or Robertson. That's a very difficult question. So yeah. Did I miss any news? Because to be honest, I only brought out the Rudiger news. nothing really special like the Raspadori, Zaniolo, like the usual names.
Yeah,
I read
nothing real
Marcos
exciting.
Alonso and I almost cried. I actually
You're really not liking that one, eh?
I was at the point of starting to cry when I read that name. I was like, just keep Sandro at this point. Like, I don't care. Keep Sandro
Yeah,
until 23, then he's free, and then you go again. Don't bring in Marcos Alonso for. Like, if you have any respect for the fans, don't bring him in. Like, that's actually. That's crazy. And Yusuf's realistic, of course, yeah. It's Friday evening. Like, I'm not doing realistic stuff today. Maybe tomorrow, when there's a preview show again. I need to be realistic.
Oh yeah, I gotta get hyped up again. There's another game to get ready for.
Yeah, Julian can't wait. He texted me. He can't wait to do the preview for Salernitana at all. So that's what's the news. And then, did I miss something? Did I actually miss something? No, it was Keane.
Nah.
Again, maybe he's gonna leave, which I think we all can understand why it's the price tag that we need to pay for him. That's the biggest issue. Like, so if you can get under it, then yeah, do it. Do it.
But Skamak is good for the same price.
No. Also no.
But I know, but that's kind of what we're looking at.
Then I'd rather take Raspadori for 25. I like. Not saying get Raspadori, but like it's too much. 38 with bonuses for Keane, it's actually too much. Danielo Pucci, I think it's the first time I've seen you in the chat, so welcome.
Yeah, I don't recognize that. Yeah, welcome.
If not,
Davey's first name to answer that.
Yeah. Who are some top level left backs on the market? I can't think of any, and me neither. That's why when people say who are you gonna play Sandro, I have no idea. I read Cambiaso, but he's not ready. He's not ready at all. Like not even close. He needs time, and he makes a lot of mistakes for Genoa, which is fine. Not a lot, but like he makes frequent mistakes, but that's okay because he's very young and it's just new for him. But he's not really ready. If you are being completely honest with yourself. So yeah, and Nemesis saying it's true that Juve are considering Zidane. No, it's not true. It isn't.
I mean, if
not
Allegri
now,
wasn't, like I'm sure they've thought of it, but it's not realistic at the moment.
No. Joseph was saying if you don't beat Salernitana 7-0, I swear. Yeah, start swearing. I'm not beating them 7-0.
Yeah, you might as well start now so you can get them all in.
Yeah. United Fire saying we should be looking at new managers like Manu after the loss, but they are looking at managers because Ranić is just an interim coach, so they need an actual manager. So yeah, Nemesis, what do you think of Paqueta? Does he still play football? He plays at Lyon, no? He plays at Lyon. No, not Paqueta. I've seen him at Milan, and again, it's not that it didn't work out for Milan, but like, no, he's nothing special. United Fire saying Dybala for Pogba, yes or no? I still want to keep Dybala on a fair price. But I think, I don't know, that's a weird question. Nothing against you, but like, it's difficult to answer for many reasons.
It's a bit of a loaded question because they are different players, but they're both iconic type players.
Yeah, and also I still want them to stay on. Like, if the price is very good, I will keep Dybala. But like, I understand the club's not paying him 10 mil until 26. I actually understand that. I do.
And Pogba could be a flop for all we know. Like, we could be living in the past.
I agree. I agree. Like everything. Like nobody's like if you do a transfer, it's not certain that they will bang. Like a lot of the transfers flop usually, or not flop. They don't play up to expectations, and I don't want to say it's okay, but like it's how it works. Like not every transfer will work out. If that was the case, then yeah, football would be very easy. It would, but it isn't.
And for all we know, Dybala can get a permanently pulled muscle and ruin his career.
Yeah,
because apparently that's all it takes to take him out.
That's it, basically. That's actually it. I think we covered everything. All bit of news. Unless I forgot something in the chat, let me know, because I put out a video, second part of the daily, before we went live. I think we covered everything. That was basically it. And again, international break. the coming 2 weeks, I think, are gonna be wild with names, with Dybala. Like, I think it will pop off again. Which, to be honest, I didn't need that. Like, 2 weeks without Juve at this moment in time, I'm happy with it. Usually, I hate the international break, but I was hoping for more calm. You know, I would do some random shows, like legend shows, like stuff like that, very calm. But I think a lot of things will come out. And he was responding. I cannot see. What is Jorginho's playing style? He's a regista. For me, he's a regista, but he has a Pjanic thing about him. And I mean, with Pjanic thing, I mean, like, he loves to get in a tackle. Like, he's not scared compared to Arthur. You know what I mean? But for me, he's a regista, a good one, a very good one. He's good at what he does.
Well, you can probably watch him play for Italy. Imagine he might get.
Yeah,
he's healthy right now, right? Yeah, he'll be playing.
Nemes is saying, again on Paqueta, he's saying he's the best player in Lyon. Honestly, he's an artist. The dude potential is flourishing, and with his experience in Serie A, he can make an impact. It happened before with Edgar Davids in Milan. That's what I said before. Like, it doesn't mean because he didn't work out when he came from Brazil to Milan that he's a bad player. But again, I'm not gonna lie. I've watched Lyon twice this season. I watched him against Porto, the first game. Didn't watch him yesterday, and I watched. Was it against Saint Etienne? I think it was against Saint Etienne. I cannot remember Paqueta. I'm not gonna lie. So I hear.
He's just one of those players.
But I don't watch him. So I cannot. If you say he's flourishing, I will take your word on it. I'll do. But I don't think he's coming back to Italy. No. So yeah. Let me see before we wrap it up. Mr. Dag saying, "Is this the worst season of this decade?" And you need to wait until the end of the season, but I will say yes, just because who the manager is, you expect more, and the way we lost against Villarreal, I would say yes. I do believe that.
I like how Anatoly Parshakov is just calling out kids and their grammar on the internet chat. He's just getting mad.
Let me see. If you want to say something, say it in a whole sentence. I don't know.
But then he spelt the sentences wrong and then didn't put a period. So I'm just gonna call him out for that. Just stir the pot a bit.
Who's he?
But keep it going in the chat. I like it.
Who's he targeting? What happened?
I'm not even sure. I just think it's funny when people start going off and stuff. So keep it going. And if you like trashing us, throw it out there. Become a member. Join the Discord chat.
Joseph started it. Joseph.
Yeah, good for you, Joseph. You keep it going.
Come on.
But yeah, Joseph. Lots of trash talk on the Discord. You can become a member. So
yeah, you can become a member.
That out.
Then you can chat in the Discord. Also, Pietro, you can. Yeah, he's not in the chat, so never mind. I will say that when I see you in the chat. I'm thinking, did I forget something? But
no, I think you got it. You're getting paranoid now. You got it wrong.
I think we got all. Do you have something to say? Or something?
Do I have something to say?
Yeah. Do you have?
Nothing worth saying, I suppose. No. That's it. Just keep the likes up, guys. Join, become a member. Join the chat. And I'm trying to get some FIFA games going. I play on PC and just throwing it out there. I'm gonna throw that as like an extra bonus. That I want to get some FIFA or PES if that's your thing. Let's do that up if that's something you guys want to do.
Yeah, you can do that. I will join in a few months, but I need to move this summer. After that, I'm all in. Thanks. Like it's not an like I'm not nobody's forced to joining. It's like it's just
no. It's just extra bonus.
It's an extra bonus. It's just helping out the channel to do giveaways. Basically, that's what we do with everything we make, or pay off the stupid Adobe subscriptions and the streaming subscriptions, because this is a hobby. So
it does cost a bit to run this stuff.
Yeah, to do this.
And Joseph Carvalho, he's one of the guys. Just saying, he's one of the guys in the Discord
that
likes to throw some passion.
I know Joseph.
We'll talk later.
He didn't ask for permission. He just put that out there. I'm like, okay. It's the last time you see Davide, by the way, on the
Yeah, that's it.
channel.
I'm done.
That's it. It's done today.
Yeah.
Wait. Anthony's saying, I'm ready. I'm really wondering what you will say when we were 7th place. Yeah, it would be worse, but that question was in the last decade, so in the last 10 years. So that's why I say yes. No, a decade is 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what, like, that was 2010. So that would be indeed worse, but he said decade, so yeah. I think that's it for today. FTPL FTPL put Juve as number 5 out of 10, having the worst seasons. Yeah, who's won? I want to know who's won now. Regarding their standards, who's won in that list then? I'm interested now.
Yeah, because Barca picked it up this year. Man U's got to make the list.
Okay, maybe Man U. Yeah, that's a fair shot, but I don't know.
Tottenham, I don't know. It's just
Probably
Tottenham
Barcelona would have been in there, even if they're not doing well. Maybe that's not updated. So, Roberto, yeah, saying I must agree. ARRIVABENE's statement today was really needing in going forward. Yeah, I loved it. He was open. Now,
yeah.
Maybe in 2 years' time, we will be like, oh, shut the hell up, like, because we're frustrated. But at the moment, I was like, okay, that's very open. And that's refreshing for once. Like, just straight to the point. So maybe that's positive moving forward for the fans to have some sort of clarity, like the 3-year plan. I'm happy he said that, so we actually have an idea now. I'm gonna beat them with that stick until until they prove me wrong. But yeah, United Fire saying, yeah, I think Man U. I think, yeah.
Yeah, let's just throw it out there, especially because Ronaldo plays for them. Just absolutely,
yeah,
Man
U. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining on a Friday evening for me, and I think a lot of people. So thanks for that, because usually, well, it's Friday evening, you know. So thanks everybody for joining. If you haven't checked out today's daily video, there's two of them. One is just Dybala, because I know people don't really want to talk about it, so I split it. One is about Dybala, the other one is about all the transfer news that came out. Tomorrow, Justin will do his daily. Me and Julian will do the live. On Sunday, as usual, the match. How do you want to say that? The match content. Post Salernitana game. And on Monday, we will be back with the regular stuff, I think. I need to check the schedule. So I'll put up this one really quickly. Daniele saying, Daniele was right. Excuse me. What are your thoughts on Cuadrado? Renew or get him out? Don't renew for 3 seasons. That's what I'm saying. 1+1 maybe, but we need to find a replacement soon because he's declining. That's what it is. But it's not the main problem. I will say that. Like, we have more problems at first. So yeah, Davide, thanks for joining again.
Thank you.
It's always nice to have you on. Also because I hate to talk to myself during a live.
That's always fun.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you can stay notified for. Let me see. Oh yeah, you can stay notified for all our latest videos and stuff we will announce very soon, I hope. We're working on new things. And then we will see you tomorrow, same time, as always. Ciao.